So yeah, I'm gonna tell you guys all about it. So last spring, I'd say like in March or April, we talked about the fact, we had been talking about it basically since we had started dating, that we wanted to get married someday. We aren't sure about kids, like that's kind of up in the air, and that's okay. But we definitely said that we both wanted to get married someday, and then we eventually started, when we would talk about getting married, we'd talk about getting married to each other. So it's like we both knew that we wanted to marry each other. And so, around March, April, we went to a movie. I think it was Beetlejuice. I think Beetlejuice came out last year, but I can't really remember. But the movie theater was like connected to the mall. So when we came to walk into the movie theater, she was like, "Do you want to stop at this jewelry place to get our ring size?" And I was like, "Oh, okay." I was like, "Okay, yeah, let's do it." So we got our ring size, and I think I was like a 7.5 and she was an 8. And yeah, we just like went to the movie and everything, and I don't want to say that I forgot about it, because I had like picked out a ring that I thought she might like. But yeah, she asked me what kind of rings I liked. I told her I wanted something silver. I feel like I don't really wear silver as much anymore, but I always wore silver. So I told her I wanted something silver, and I didn't want a diamond. And you might think that's tacky, and that's okay, but I don't like the diamond industry. Personally, I don't want to get into it. I'm not big into the diamond industry. If I were to ever get a diamond, I'd want like a lab created diamond. So I did tell her that, but I told her that I wanted like a pink stone, whether it was pink tourmaline or pink topaz. That's what I wanted, and I just wanted like a silver ring. So I guess she picked it out and got it, but she didn't tell me. She just picked it. And I was looking at a ring for her, and she told me she wanted something with a black stone. And then she said she wanted moss agate. And I was having a hard time finding a moss agate ring that I liked. And then she went and looked at rings, and she was like, "Oh, I really like blue sandstone." And she was like, "I actually really like this ring that has moss agate and blue sandstone, and it's rose gold, and I think it's so pretty." So I added that to my cart, and I was like, "Oh, wait a little bit," because I don't want her to like catch on to me, and like, also we live together, so I didn't want her to like find the ring, so I want to wait a little bit. And so I added the ring to my cart, and so basically one day she had the day off from work. I was like, "I guess I won't do anything today, and we'll just hang out." And she was like, "Do you want to go get vegan food from our favorite place and go to the library?" And I was like, "Heck yeah." And then something happened, like our favorite vegan place was closed or something, like out of the blue. And she was like, "Do you want to just like get food somewhere else and go to the library?" So like we live in a rural area. We have a library, but it's really small. And then there's a bigger library in the city, which is only like 10 minutes away. Like it's very close. They're like bordering cities. The city that I'm talking about, I grew up there, so I love that library. And there's like a window in the library on the second floor. No, it's on the first floor, like in the stacks, and there's like a tree right outside of it. It's so pretty. I love it so much, and she knows that. But she was like, "We could just go to the library." And I was like, "I'm kind of hungry right now. Why don't we get like Taco Bell? Taco Bell's my favorite." Why don't we get like Taco Bell or like, I don't know, Subway or something? And she was like, she was so upset. She was just like, fine, we can get Subway. And I was like, okay, weirdo, like, what the heck? So we went and got Subway. And I was like, do you want to just eat, like, in the parking lot? And she was like, no, like, it's nice outside. I want to eat somewhere that, like, you know, is more scenic. And I was like, okay, let's go to the park. And she was like, why don't we eat at the library? And I'm like, why do you want to eat at the library? Like, what the heck? We can't eat at the library unless we eat in the parking lot. And she was like, well, what if we ate, like, in the gazebo at the library? And I was like, I guess the gazebo near our library, it's like right outside of the library, but it's not cute. Like, all the kids that the middle school is like, I don't want to say it's like basically across the street, but it's very close. So like some kids will get out of middle school and then they'll go and like sit in the gazebo or like sit in the area of the gazebo. And so there are like little phallic symbols drawn all over the gazebo. So I was like, why do you want to sit under the gazebo? Like, you're so weird. We can sit there since there are no kids. So we went. This was like at the end of May last year, so that it was like really nice out. I had on like a tank top with cargo pants, and I remember I had a little watermelon hair clip. Free Palestine. That's why I had it. But anyway, so we sit down and we have our books like to read, and so I was reading The Martyr. I can't remember who it's by. I didn't finish reading it, but it was sitting next to me and I was eating my sandwich, and I was like, wow, the like gardening club for the library, they did a really good job with these flowers. Like, they're so pretty. And I was like, look at this purple flower here, like, it's so pretty. This was like right after we finished eating our sandwiches, and she was like, it is really pretty. So I took out my phone and I turned around to take a picture, and then when I turned around, I looked down at my book and there was my ring sitting right there, and I was like, oh. And then I just like started crying, so I like covered my face and I was like, oh my god, oh my god. And she was like, so, can I marry you? I was just like, yeah, what the heck? I didn't know that you were gonna do this now. And she was like, of course I'm gonna do it now. Like, as soon as I found out what kind of ring you wanted, I ordered it. And I was like, oh my god. So, yeah, we were like so excited when she asked me. And I called my mom right away, and I was like, Lisa just proposed to me under the gazebo at the library, and she was like, oh my god, I can't believe this. And my mom was like, you can get married in the backyard. Like, she was like ready to do it today. Like, but yeah, and then I think I tried to call my grandma, but she didn't answer, so I just sent her a picture, and I was telling my aunt and everything. And then we went home and we told her mom and her aunt, and yeah, everyone was just so excited. But yeah, so basically after she did that, I was like, okay, now that she proposed to me, like, I don't really have to hide the fact that I was gonna propose to her. So I ordered the ring, and the ring was from Turkey. It was the ring that I was saying with the blue sandstone and the moss agate around it. It's so pretty. It was from Turkey. So I ordered it like on June 1st, like right after she proposed to me. And then we had Pride and everything. Our friends got married, and it just felt like even more sentimental and special to me. Well, they got married in Acadia National Park during the sunrise, so it was beautiful. But it was small and intimate, and it just like felt more sentimental to me knowing that like we would be doing it soon too, because we just agreed that we want to get married. But yeah, so we go to Pride and everything, she's a firefighter EMT, so I knew she can't wear her pretty ring to work. It'll get messed up or like lost, you know, like it could get caught on something and hurt her. So I wanted her to have a silicone ring anyway, so we got a silicone ring set that had like black, pink, white, blue, and I think one was like silver or something. She didn't like it, so I think she ended up getting rid of it. But yeah, she just got like a little pink silicone ring to match my pink ring. So she's like saying she wishes that she had her ring and everything. And so I messaged the seller because it was on Etsy, and it had been like 3 weeks since I ordered it, and I was like, hey, is my ring on the way? And they were like, yeah, like we just finished it, and like jewelry takes a lot of time. And I was like, but I want to propose now. But then like after they shipped it to me, it's from Turkey, so then it took like another week or so to get to me. And I just kept thinking, I just want to propose to her during Pride Month, and I ended up not being able to. But I even remember that I cried to her, and I was like, your ring is taking too long to get here. And she was like, oh my god, it's okay, like relax. And yeah, I was freaking out about the ring. But anyway, I ended up getting it, and as soon as I got it, it was like, I need to ask her like now. But I felt like we were so busy that weekend that there was not like a good time. Like we had a baby shower, and we had like a birthday party or something like that, and it was like there was no time for me to do it. Anyway, on the day of the baby shower, she gets all dressed up all nice in her like button up shirt, and she was like, I think it would be cool if I had a pretty ring, but I can go with the silicone ring today. And I was like, I'm asking her today. I'm gonna find a way, and I'm gonna ask her today. So I was like, what if we stopped and got boba from our favorite boba place on the way to the baby shower? And she was like, yeah, we can. And I was like, perfect. That's what I'm gonna ask her. We end up getting in the car, and she's like, I don't feel like driving to the boba place because it's like out of the way. What if we just went to Dunkin'? And I was like, yeah. Like I literally had the ring like in my bra or something. And I was like, yeah, we can do that. And the whole time I'm like, I guess I'm not asking her today. And then what made it even harder was that she didn't want anything from Dunkin'. Like we ordered it, she didn't want anything, and I was like, I thought you wanted something. And she was like, no, I like, you know, I'll just like have soda when we get to the baby shower. Like I'll have a drink when we get to the baby shower. And then so I get my drink. It was like a chai latte with like, I don't want to say pumpkin, maybe it was pumpkin. It was like a chai latte with like caramel in it or something. And so she asked me to do the GPS. So I'm like, I pick up my phone, I start writing the address for the GPS, and I slip the ring onto the straw of my Dunkin'. And I said, wait, before I like do the GPS, do you want to try my coffee? And she was like, sure, because we always try each other's coffee or like try each other's food. We always do that. So I gave her my chai latte, and she goes, what is that? What is that? What is that? And I was like, she was like, oh. And I was like, can I marry you? And she was just like, oh my god, you scared me. She said she thought that it was like a bug or something on my coffee. On my coffee. And so, it like caught her completely off guard that was on the coffee. But of course she said yes, and then she was way more excited because when we got to the baby shower, she was like, congratulations, guess what happened today? And her friend was like, yay. do it barbecue style, or if we should just have it at like a function hall. And will it be cheaper to just do that because they take care of the food for you and everything, and then you just pick like what DJ you want and what cake, whatever. So yeah, we're like really back and forth on like what we want. It's gonna be it's gonna be expensive, and we know that, so that's why we've been putting it off. Not putting it off, but like, you know, like waiting. But we think next year would be when we want to do it. We definitely want to have a fall wedding because we started dating in October, so we'd like to do an October wedding and just have like a fall vibes. But then if we have it in October, another thing is like, can we really have it outside, or is it going to be really cold and everyone will have to wear coats? Like, that will suck, you know? So yeah, we'll see. But we definitely want to get married soon. I'm someone who, like, I don't want the headache of a wedding, and I just want to do like, we get eloped with like 20 people. But she doesn't want that. She wants like a big party thing. And I just keep saying, why don't we just have a giant engagement party and then tell everybody that, you know, our wedding's gonna be small. But she doesn't want that. She wants the big wedding, like the whole ceremony and everything. I just want her to have what she wants, so I am happy to compromise. But yeah, I just want to get married, and like, I just want to marry her already. But yeah, that's it to say about the story of how we got engaged. Libraries mean a lot to us, so that's why she chose libraries. And I felt like I chose to propose to her with the Dunkin' or boba because I feel like that's been such a highlight of our relationship. It's just like me being the passenger princess, and like, you know, us going to get like sweet treats, or like going on little dates to get like, not get, but like to go to the library or go get boba or ice cream or like stuff like that, vegan food. So like, that was really important to me, and that's why I chose to propose to her. I really wanted it to go on the boba straw, but the Dunkin' was fine because I felt like it really like spoke to our relationship and our experiences. But yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed the story, and definitely let me know if you are engaged or married. Let me know how your partner proposed to you, or how you proposed to your partner, because I love hearing stories of you guys and like how you got proposed to, because I think that every couple is different, and I love hearing like the significance of your proposal. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you have a